Hi everyone, Barry here from Mitosu. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining me for the Stamp Around UK video hub. This month's theme for April is metallic, and I'm going to be using the Tasteful Touches stamp set and Nothing Better Than. So these two stamps right here with some dies, Love You More Than dies, which coordinates with the Nothing's Better Than stamp set to create this card right here, which has used the lovely Gilded Leafing. So this stuff, it's a pot of gold. So we're going to use this to create this detail on this card right here for the metallic theme Stamp Around UK video hub. Let's crack on and show you how you can make this for yourself. Enjoy. So for this card, I've done this one in Just Jade with the gold foil. So what I decided to do was to change this one up for the video, and I'm now going to use Magenta Madness. So everything else is exactly the same. I'm just using a different card layer here. So I'll cut my card base down to size. I've got myself some gold foil, and I have got myself some basic white, which is going to mat and lay out over the top of that one right here. I'm taking as I said, I'm using the Tasteful Touches stamp set, and all I need on this is I just need some detail. So this one right here. So if you haven't got this particular stamp set, as long as you've got something which is going to be a little bit more grungy, artistic, so you can just add some detail in the background. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stamp randomly around this to create the background, this kind of checkered background right here. So it's going to be a little bit tricky because I'm going to be stamping in clear ink. So you're just going to need to trust me, and obviously just use your light to help you where you've actually stamped. So I'm just going to ink this up. I'm going to start in the middle, and then I'm going to piece this around. So you're going to have to, you can kind of just about, you may be able to see, there you go, you can just about see that on the video. That's going to stay wet, so I'm going to ink this up, and I'm just going to go around this and piece this in now, and just lock this in, interlocking these squares to create myself a random pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So you may be able to see that pattern shine through there. So I kind of want it flowing this way. But I've got a rough idea. I can roughly see the pattern. I think you can there on the video of how that's going. I want to leave this area clear because this is where I want to stamp a sentiment, and this area down here. So I've kind of gone this way, and sentiment here and sentiment down here is the aim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Gilded Leafing now. So first things first, I'm going to use my heat and stick. So I'm going to grab myself a bit of scrap paper, and because I've used Versamark, the ink is still wet, I'm going to pour this on top. And that's going to stick, oh, don't chuck it everywhere, and that's going to stick to that powder. So I've got a better idea now of actually where I have actually stuck, so I'm actually happy with that, which is good. And then I'm going to now just pour this back into my container. So once you've tied it up, that's what you're going to be left with. So we're going to heat set this now. So if you've never used heat and stick before, the key to this is get your heat tool nice and hot, and then take it to the powder. Once it melts, then it's done. Don't be tempted to overheat this. So I'm just going to get this hot and then melt it. And that's it. So once it's now gone from a powder to it's gone slightly glossy, that has now gone sticky. So we'll grab our Gilded Leafing, and all I'm going to do here is just pop this on top. And with then burnish, we'll just rub that in, and that will then stick to the areas. So you can use more, and then you can then pop it back into this container. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to rub my sticky fingers over the sticky powder to then take its stick away. So I kind of want to do that with the leafing down. And there we have it. We can pop that back into the container. And now, grab some scrap paper, grab a sponge, and we're going to use the soft end, and we're going to now rub this away, and we're going to take off any of that excess which isn't stuck to the powder. And we are just going to remove this now. If you do it on a bit of scrap paper as well, you can then decant this back into your tub. And there we have it. If you've got one, grab a very soft brush, and then you can then just buff that one off without actually taking it any more off than you need to. And that's that, if necessary. A little bit up the top there, just want to. And that's that. Okay. So good. Once you've done that part, then what I want you to do is we are going to get our sentiments, and we are going to do some stamping. So the sentiments I have decided to use, if I can find them, they're on the table, oh, they're right by the side of me, is today's plan, consume, and then I'm going to then stamp, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow will be 2. So they are going to go here and up the top like this, up here. So I'm going to do this in Memento. So that's the makings of the card. So that's done with those sentiments. Once you're happy with that, we can go ahead and we can stick this onto our gold foil like this right here. So all we're going to do is just grab this again, and we will pop some glue around the edge of this here. So I'm just going to do this in some dots and go round. Don't want to do too much because it's gonna splodge out a little bit, so less is more on this one. So remember, this is part of the Stamp Around UK video hop, so be sure to hop along with everyone else at the end of this video. Links can be found down below in the description to everyone else's projects, and see what metallic themes they have come up with as well. I'm very interested to see what the whole team has done. So that's just going to go on like that. You can see, and I've got bits which are stronger than others. I've overlapped the stamp set, but I'm not worried about that because I wanted it to be, I want that messy look. I want that rustic, that grungy look. Is what I was trying to achieve here. So that's that. So that's just going to leave that to one side now, just to completely set up and glue. So whilst we're doing that, I can then move on to the next parts. So I just want to grab myself some scrap paper. So I've got some here, and I'm going to stamp myself now the cocktail. So we are going to be having, today's plan is to consume cocktails, but you can have all sorts on here. You've got, with this particular stamp set anyway, if it's still currently available, you can have all sorts on here. So coffee, cookies, chocolate, cocktails, and then you've got the relevant images down here as well. So it may be available still, I'm not sure. depends on when you are watching this video. So I've just stamped my cocktail on the outline, and what I'm going to do is I am going to now take the inner parts and colour those in. So I've got myself some Bumblebee, Just Jade and Magenta Madness. So I'm using my Bumblebee for the orange slice. Which is that one right there. I'm going to use Just Jade for the envelope on this particular one. Which is there. And we're going to have Magenta Madness for the actual cocktail itself. So on the original card, I've used Just Jade because that's the colour of the card base which I've done. So with this one, I'm just going to do it the opposite way round, and that's going to match the colour of the card base. So ink that up, and we'll just pop that into the glass. Like that. And I think that's really cute. It's a fun set again. I'm really enjoying my fun sets at the moment. So pop those to one side. And then what we want to do is we want to die cut this one out. So I'm just going to bring in the mini machine, and we're just going to die cut this one out. And there we have it. So that there is our cocktail, which is going to go over the top like this. So what you can do, depending on how you want to do this, you can either just cut the cocktails out here in black cardstock, and then that can then just go directly on top like this. And that's how we will finish this card up. But what I wanted to do is I also wanted to show you how you can use the foam adhesive sheets, such as these here. And I'm really enjoying playing with these as well at the moment. It's something we've had in our stash for a little while, and I'm really enjoying them. So I'm just going to grab this. So I've got myself the foam sheet, I've got myself a bit of black cardstock, and I just need to make sure I cut a piece which is the same size as this right here. So I'm just going to cut myself some of this foam sheet like that. Okay. Then what I want to do is I want to take one side of it off to reveal sticky, and then pop my black card on top of it. So these foam sheets are really handy when you've got wording like this, because you're going to you're never going to be able to get foam pads that small which are going to go in the back. So this is where these foam pads work really well. And I can then just cut this down to size like so. Good. Let's bring in, I'm going to bring in the big machine. Now I did on the original card, I did use the mini Suki on this one, so the mini Stampin' Up Cut Emboss machine, but the big machine has more pressure than the small one for this particular thing, because I'm going through something quite thick. I want something which has got a bit more pressure. So if you've got both machines, perfect. It will go through the small one, but it is a little bit of a struggle. But if you've got the larger machine, then perfect. Okay, and all you're going to do is you pop your die on top of that. So you've got your foam pad, your coloured card, and then your die. Run that one through like you would do ordinarily. So here we have it. We have our cut piece. So I'm just going to pry this out now. So I'm going to take if you can, take the die off first. And carefully remove everything. That's it. So you've now left with a inner part. And this is this. So this is just, I just need to pry this out of this. And around we go. So you've got these little release holes which are around the die as well, which will help you with this. It just needs a little bit of coaxing out. And then just carefully just poke out these other parts here. This is a little bit fiddly, but it's worth it in the long run. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to take this and we're going to stick that. So I quite like it. It naturally wants to bend. If you do it in cardstock, it tends to just stay straight. But once it's onto the foam, it tends to naturally want to bend. I'm just going to go with this. I tried to get it straight on the first one. I'm just going to go with the natural curve of this. And I'm just going to gently just stick that down on, pick that up over like this. Like that. And then I can then just pop a bit of glue on the back. Of this one here. And then I can then stick that where I want that to be. And then the foam pads just help stick that down permanently and raised up over the top. So there we go. Today's plan consume cocktails, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow will be too. So I have somebody in mind who this card is going to get sent to. And I've got 2 cards now, so I can send another one to somebody else. So that's that. Good. To finish this one up, all I need to do is just pop some Tombow glue on the back of this and stick it onto my card base. I like the way that you can coordinate the colour of the cocktail with the card stock which you are using. So that's that. So there is the first one. This is the second one. So my metallic theme for the Stamp Around UK video hop. There is the other one there which I've just done in Just Jade. Little tip for you: if you're stamping over the gilded leafing, it won't show through. So what I've done on this one, like I did here, I stamped as much as I could on the actual whisper on the basic white, and then I stamped the rest of it on another bit of basic white, and then cut it out and then stuck it over the top. And that's how you can get around that if you do find that you're stamping on top of your gilded leafing. But if not, then it works fine just like that. If anything, I probably would have done a little bit more on this, but I think it works. Both of them work perfectly well, and they have just got a bit of a wow factor for you. So there we go. There is my project, metallic theme project for the Stamp Around UK video hop. Remember, be sure to hop along with everyone else. So links to those can be found down below in the description. But until next time, have fun, enjoy, see you soon. Bye bye for now. Bye.